It's Conversation Corner brought to us by Lucille's Roadhouse, Airport Road in Weatherford, and we are joined today and every Thursday while he's in his last session here, State Representative Harold Wright from the Capitol.
Hey, good morning. It's cold here.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Is it snowing there? That's the question.
No snow. We just got some colder weather, and the temperature is dropping kind of this morning already, and it's windy, so it makes it really chilly trying to get out and around.
So sharp, that wind. Yeah, it is
Yes,
32.
That's third.
Well, we want to talk about several things this morning. Of course, on Monday you were busy. You had at the state capitol. I know we talked about. Was it Monday? Yeah, it was Monday. You had several invited guests, and there was a rally at the Capitol. We want to talk about that with the Native American tribes. And then also some different bills kind of on your desk and in committees and coming out now and for the full House, to vote on and kind of seeing what your thoughts and opinions are. And plus, we also want to take phone calls this morning. If anybody has any questions for State Representative Harold Wright, it's 580-772-9700 is the phone number. All that is, you've been a busy man, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well, it has been a busy week, and to top everything else off, the speaker has been ill this week, so I've had to fill in for him on several events and meetings. As the Speaker Pro Tem, part of my job is to fill in and help the Speaker as part of the leadership team, but by a designation and election, I'm kind of like the Vice Speaker, if you will, to help people understand my job as Speaker Pro Tem. But it's been a busy week, and one of the things that I got the opportunity to do is I was going to the prayer breakfast anyway the governor had earlier in the week, and that turned out to be a great event. We had over 1,500 people there at the Cowboy Hall of Fame at Heritage Center, and I was asked to go up on the stage to represent the House of Representatives, and they prayed for the House of Representatives in Oklahoma, as well as the Senate and leadership of the state government. So I was very impressed with that. And the Speaker was the chaplain of the Senate. His name is Reverend Black. He's two-star, I guess he still is, two-star admiral in the Navy, and he was a chaplain, head of the chaplaincy in the Navy. So he was great. It was an outstanding talk that he gave, and so that was kind of part of the week that really kind of got things started off good for me, and it's been a really busy week.
All right, well, we're looking forward to hearing more about the week in just a moment. State Representative Harold Wright joining us on Conversation Corner, brought to us by Lucille's Roadhouse. They're hosting the annual Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast this Saturday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., so join us for that. Great fundraiser. Once again, if you have a question for State Representative Harold Wright, give us a call, 580-772-9700. It's Conversation Corner on the Coyote.
The new Van and John Show this Thursday morning, sponsored by Doug Gray Auto Group.
Have your cake and eat it too.
Pancake!
How do you make a pancake smile?
By eating its face.
What?
Just kidding.
By buttering him up.
Don't miss the annual Pancake Day with the Weatherford Kiwanis Club, held at Lucille's Roadhouse this Saturday. All you can eat.
There's going to be biscuits and gravy, ham, bacon, and even more pancakes.
$10 for adults and kids, $5. At Lucille's Roadhouse this Saturday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Also enjoy a silent auction. All proceeds go to the Weatherford Kiwanis Club, dedicated to worthwhile community projects focused on children, including bunks assemblies at East Elementary, various scholarships, the AR pancake parties, and so much more.
I like my pancakes, a little bit of syrup and peanut butter on the side. Nice.
I like my pancakes upside down.
Lots of syrup.
I like my pancakes with the smiley face of bacon.
Thanks to Lucille's Roadhouse for donating the food and venue to the Weatherford Kiwanis Club at Lucille's Roadhouse this Saturday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Now is the time to own the Nissan vehicle of your dreams during the Nissan Now sales event, only at Byford Nissan. Come see why nobody treats you better than Byford at I-40 Exit 41, the only dealership in the state where every Byford vehicle purchase comes with oil changes for life. Yes, oil changes for life. Get the new 2020 Nissan Versa 0 down and just $245 per month. Or the new 2019 Nissan Titan SL truck. Buy today and save $10,000 off MSRP. That's $10,000 off only during our Nissan Now event. $10,000 off and payments as low as $245 per month with no money down. Don't miss the best time to buy. Visit Byford Nissan, I-40 Exit 41 in Elk City, or at ByfordNissan.com today. Versa VIN LL819841. Titan VIN KN515015. 0 down, 84 months at 3.99%. WAC. While supplies last. Must finance through Nissan Finance. See dealer for details.
Do you know where your beef comes from?
I sure do, right here from Hudson Angus Farms. It all comes from our cattle right here at Hudson Angus Farms. Why do you ask, JC?
Because they say all beef is the same.
Oh no, not true, JC Joe. If you are wanting to know the real facts about cattle and your beef, come visit with us today at Hudson Angus Farms.
Come see us or see us online at HudsonAngusFarms.com and on Facebook.
Susie Save-A-Lot here with great savings at Save-A-Lot this week in Weatherford. Red seedless grapes are $1.69 a pound. Cabbage is just 59 cents a pound. Mangoes are 89 cents each, and 3 pounds of Gala apples is only $2.69.
Convenient shopping, low prices, great service, and they'll even carry out your groceries, all on Washington and Main in the Weatherford Shopping Center.
We're going to save a lot.
Attention breakfast lovers! Stop in at Lucille's Roadhouse off Airport Road in Weatherford, where you can enjoy all-you-can-eat breakfast Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. The coffee is always freshly ground and ready to serve. While you're there, make sure to check out the great Made in Oklahoma products available in the gift shop. Lucille's Roadhouse, just off Airport Road in Weatherford, where you can enjoy all-you-can-eat breakfast Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's Lucille's Roadhouse.
The new Van and John Show this Thursday morning, sponsored by Doug Gray Auto Group. The new Van and John Show on the Coyote.
It's Conversation Corner, brought to us by Lucille's Roadhouse, Airport Road in Weatherford. We have State Representative Harold Wright with us. We also have a caller on the phone and calling in to talk about the governor's pardon. So go ahead, caller.
First, I want to thank you for taking my call. And second, Harold, I know when the governor pardoned all these people out of the prisons for drug control, and first of all, I want to say I had a son. He didn't ever go to jail, but he was guilty of everything he did. But he has crossed every T, done everything that the courts have asked. But yet he has to wait his time, 5 or 6 years, to get his slate wiped clean. And I just felt like they didn't do anything for those that were out here trying to get a job and trying to pay taxes. And when you've got that hanging over your head, it's hard to find a good job.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wish they would have done something for these guys that are out here working every day trying to better their life and get on with it.
We'll let Harold answer that question, and we'll let you go and let you listen to that on the radio. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you.
Well, I couldn't really hear the question. I heard a little bit of part about it, but I really
well, darn it.
The question. You'll have to repeat it.
I think he was just asking about the governor's pardons, and that he personally has a son that, as he said that he never had spent jail time, but he did do everything that he was convicted of doing, and he's dotted all his I's and crossed all his T's, and feel like him and his son has worked very hard to make sure that they're going down the right path and doing the right things. And he just feels like the governor's using his pardon is maybe unfair or maybe not right to the person that actually is doing all the right things and still having to wait 5-6 years to finish all their stuff
for a job, having trouble getting a good paying job.
Yeah, I know that's a problem, and it's something we need to address in the state of Oklahoma when people get out of our correction system. And we've talked a lot about criminal justice. And the governor didn't pardon. He actually commuted the sentences on a number of people who had what is called nonviolent crimes or were convicted on nonviolent crimes. That means something other than, obviously something that did involve violence. Like, for example, maybe going to prison for multiple DUI charges or possession of a controlled substance. But the thing is, we need to put some money into working with these inmates after they get out of prison. There's some programs in Oklahoma City and Tulsa that do really great work, but they're not available out in western Oklahoma. And so we need to work to put some money into helping these people find jobs, get them trained so that they can maybe move to a higher skill level than where they were when they came in. so that they won't be as tempted to go back and get back in prison again in the future.
Well, that makes me think of something just now, just thinking of this. And we have a cousin that's been in prison ever since I can remember as a child, and he has finally served all of his time, which is like at least 30 years. And they didn't do anything with him after that. Like he's coming out of prison. We have cell phones now. Everything's on the computer. Like this is a completely different world. And it's just like, here you go. All right, you did your time. Bye. And I'm like, what? What's he supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like no training, no halfway house, because he did all of his time, so he doesn't have to do a halfway house.
That's correct, and that's sometimes some, and I don't know his situation, but sometimes the inmates choose that path. I know that there's training available when they're going to be released. There's some training available at the end of the term, and I know that they have a program to help them do things like learn how to balance checkbooks and to survive outside. But, we probably don't do as good a job of that as we should. But just keep in mind that a lot of that stuff is optional. You can't force somebody to go do something.
I didn't realize that.
If you have a question, 580-772-9700 for State Representative Harold Wright. Your chance to call in and ask. And as Vanessa loves to remind us, you don't have to give your name or anything. We just love to hear your question. Talk to me about Monday. You had some invited guests. There was a rally at the Capitol going on.
We had, we've always got something going on up here. And which rally were you talking about?
The Cheyenne Arapaho tribe was there. They had several speakers.
It wasn't really a rally. It was more of a lobbying effort on part of the Apache, not Apache, but the Cheyenne Arapaho tribes out in western Oklahoma. They had a meeting. The Governor Wassenee was here. He spoke to the group, and they invited me to welcome them to the Capitol. And they're up here. This is the first time they've ever done that, meeting with state legislators to try to talk about their particular problems and issues. And they have a bill up here called IDA's law that would help would encourage the Oklahoma OSBI to pay more attention to indigenous people if they're lost or whatever. So they're pushing that bill in particular, and I'm proud to co-author that bill. It's still in the beginning stages right now, and it's going to be heard in committee next week.
State Representative Harold Wright is joining us, and will be joining us every Thursday. And one thing that's been kind of a hot topic is talking about this new brand for Oklahoma.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Do you all like it? Well, I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. A brand, and I see a lot of people wearing the new brand on. There's some lapel pins that they distributed, and I see some legislators starting to wear those. But I noticed on Channel 9 last night that I guess one of the Ogles
my 2 cents
on that, and so he had some pretty negative comments back last night about that logo. But I guess no matter what you do, somebody's not going to like it.
I'm going to say you're right. People don't like change, and that's the struggle. I think you're going to fight no matter what. But then, especially when you hear it cost $100,000.
Well, why did we need to change it? I don't understand. That's on our flag. It's super cool. It wasn't. This one seems kind of plain compared to what we had before.
Well, we didn't really have much before, to be quite honest with you. It certainly wasn't that recognizable. We still have the flag, and that is still out there. But the governor and the lieutenant governor just felt like that. Working to try to be a top 10 state, we needed to have a new image or a better image, and that's why they decided to try to come up with a new. It's not just the logo; it's the total image that they're working on to try to make Oklahoma become a top 10 state in the United States, and encourage people to move here and not just become a pass-through state, but a destination state.
And then what do you think about
good things for
the tagline? Imagine this, or imagine that.
I don't know. It's okay.
Willy Wonka.
I don't know that I would have chosen that, but again, it becomes one of those issues that sort of becomes subjective. In trying to decide whether you like something or not. And, you do your best to try to come up with something, and apparently that was what they came up with.
Tell me about this bill that I believe the speaker introduced about helping increasing the number of doctors in rural areas.
Well, that's a real problem, and I know the speaker lives down in Otoka, which is in the southeastern part of the state, And just like Weatherford and other towns like Weatherford, we're losing doctors. And, I think anything we can do to encourage people, becoming doctors, it's just really tough today. A lot of people don't want to go become doctors because of all the problems with insurance and Medicare, Medicaid, some of the issues getting payments and running their offices. I mean, if they don't dot the I and cross the T on everything they submit to Medicaid, Medicare, they don't get their money. So I don't know. The doctors tell me that it's really difficult today, and so they're discouraging young people from going into medicine, and that's tough,
And you'll say, and you're right. The number one problem I feel like most rural hospitals do challenge with is getting good quality doctors to come to their locations where usually they can't pay as much. They can't, it's also sometimes not as quote unquote exciting as it is in a major trauma center or in a major big city. And I could see that being a challenge, just recruiting in general.
Well, and they don't make as much money either. They've got to be pretty dedicated to the cause. And I know that it's getting harder and harder to get doctors to come out into rural Oklahoma. And you don't have the health system is a lot different than it was 40 years ago or 30 years ago, even 20 years ago. They used to have a lot more surgeries in hospitals like the one in Clinton and Weatherford and Oak City. And there's a limited amount of surgery now that goes on in rural Oklahoma. Most of it's done in Oklahoma City and Tulsa.
Well, are there any thoughts or ideas that you were wanting to share with us this morning?
Well, I think that it's been a good week. Yesterday I had breakfast with the governor, and so it was a really busy day, just to kind of give you an idea of what I do in a day. Then we were on the floor later on during the day hearing some bills, and I had a bill to submit, present in committee. So those are the kind of things we do every day up here. And we had FFA week was this week. We had FFA students from around the state here, and I had FFA students from all around. Thomas, FFA was here. The Elk City FFA was here, and so we had several FFA groups at the Capitol this week. So that was a highlight for this week as well. So it's been a good week. And if you have a question or concern, be sure to give me a call here at the Capitol. I'll be glad to visit with you.
Real fast, you mentioned breakfast with the governor. Have you had a chance to talk to him personally about his stance on the compact with the tribes? This month is coming to an end, and as this month comes to an end, that means the first payment will be made for 2020, representing January's, if that makes sense, to the state of Oklahoma. Is the state of Oklahoma going to accept those payments, or are they going to not accept them?
I think they'll accept them, and maybe it looks like the money might be put in sort of an escrow account until they get this issue settled. And that's still sort of up in the air at this point. As you may have read in the paper, heard on the radio this last week, that the courts have put the tribes and the governor's office into a mediation to try to see if they can't come up with a resolution to the problem. And I'm hoping that happens, and I have talked to the governor. He feels very strongly that at least it's a business deal and that the tribes need to pay their share because they have to the state of Oklahoma, because they have an exclusive contract or compact with the state of Oklahoma to provide for to do gambling. And so he's just looking out for what he thinks is best for the state of Oklahoma. And then on the other side of that, I don't blame the tribes. I mean, they're also looking out for what's best for them. So it's a business deal that needs to be worked out, and ultimately, hopefully, the state of Oklahoma will be, and the tribes will be the beneficiary.
Very good. If anybody wants to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
You can call me at the Capitol, 405-557-7325. That's my number up here, 405-557-7325, or you can contact me by email at harold.wright@oakhouse.gov.
Thanks for talking with us. We'll talk to you next week.
Right, y'all have a great day.
You too.
Conversation Corner is brought to us by Lucille's Roadhouse, Airport Road in Weatherford, and they are hosting the annual Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast this Saturday. $10 for adults and $5 for children. It's all you can eat, and it's way more than pancakes, so definitely join us. It's a great cause. And I also want to thank Doug Gray, Chevrolet Buick GMC, for sponsoring the show today. This is incredible. You can have a new Camaro for only $395 per month at Doug Gray.